Well, folks, here we are again for the weekly forecast. Unfortunately, because of the university holiday shutdown, we're unable to give you the most current forecast because we're taping in advance of the holiday weekend. I do want to bring your attention to the fact that the numerical models are indicating a fairly substantial slice of cold air moving down into the Central Plains, particularly as we move into the early part of next week. And based on right now what the models are projecting, as that cold air shifts southward, it looks like it's going to be forced up against the Rocky Mountains and possibly generate what we call an orographic lift situation. That is, cold air pushes up against the mountain, causes lifts, and then we see some snow on the front range of the Rocky Mountains. And in fact, the models are extending some of that snowfall into the southern half of the Panhandle and portions of western Nebraska. It looks like the southern Panhandle will receive the best chances right now in terms of moderate types of snowfall, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, possibly heavier depending on how long-lived the event is. But as you slide east of there, the precipitation totals right now are projected to drop off rather dramatically, such that we may only see a scattering of light snow or flurries as we get into west central, into central Nebraska, and farther east it doesn't look like much in the way of any significant snow. And then we'll see several impulses of energy coming down on the northwest flow that may give us continuous chances of scattered light snowfall, but again, no significant accumulations. Pay attention to the weather models, because at this time of the year things can dramatically change, and a model that is indicating just a light event can dramatically shift to a potent winter storm. So be aware that there is some significant weather that may invade earlier in the week, and we need to be aware of that. But for now, let's take a look at where the current drought situation in Nebraska stands and what we can expect as we go for the next 3 months according to the Climate Prediction Center. I'll draw your attention that the core area of the drought once again is over the center part of the country, with Nebraska primarily in the exceptional drought classification scheme, which is essentially the highest drought classification scheme, and extends all the way to our south. We've seen some pretty significant recovery in the eastern Corn Belt, and the expectation with normal precipitation going forward that we will see pretty close to full soil moisture recharge by the time we get to spring, at least from Illinois eastward, and there's a very decent potential we'll see some of that same kind of conditions developing across the eastern half of Iowa. A little bit more interesting as you get west of here, because we've been persistently dry now for the last couple of months here in the center part of the state, and we've already accumulated a couple inches of deficits across a good portion of the state, particularly north and west of the I-80 corridor from Lincoln to Omaha. And again, we're going to be running out of time to get those soil moisture profiles charged back up in time for spring. So it's going to have to be a very wet winter and a very wet spring to make up some of these differences. And we can see by the projections that they are indicating a persistence of the drought to continue, with some moderation in the drought to our east. In terms of the 30-day forecast, we're starting to see a colder trend in the models, moving up close to Nebraska. In terms of precipitation, the only area showing above normal precipitation is the eastern Corn Belt. The 90-day forecast again keeps that colder trend in play, and in terms of precipitation, once again, moisture to our east, but no significant dry pattern established firmly in the forecast for the Central Plains.